Didn't Woody Harrelson say that his uncle turned down the JFK shooting?
His what?
What?
And
I'm
we're
gonna
live,
find the
folks.
receipts.
That's the
I
first thing on South Air.
didn't wait to say it live, but I couldn't not say it when I thought of it. If
Mhm.
anyone has the receipts.
I
I
I
do need you to.
heard that he said his dad claimed to have been a part of it.
Yes, that's probably what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But again, I heard
Stolen
this
valor.
second, third hand, so you might be more right than I am. I don't know.
No, you're probably more right. That sounds accurate.
I think it'd be
Welcome to
funny for Woody
Omniversal. Yeah.
Harrelson to have a connection to the JFK assassination. I just think for the bit, like, I think that that would be funny.
Well, they just released so many new pages about it, and immediately Joe Rogan said, "Feed it to Grok." To
Yeah.
which, what are we doing?
But yeah.
Um, Grok Tua AI on that thing.
Dang. Hold on,
You got me there.
I gotta go change my Twitter handle. Hold on.
Thank you so much because all I was thinking is how much I hate Joe Rogan and I think he's a fascist and like
Yeah.
should we even
Yeah.
mention him? And you saved it by making a great joke. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I loved that man growing up because I loved Fear Factor. And
He
so
was
that's
on.
the thing
Hey,
is
wait. I just know him as the bad podcast man. He's done other
he
things.
hosted Fear Factor.
And he was on news radio with Phil Hartman
Yeah, it's
and
that thing of
others.
don't meet you either die young or live long enough to see yourself become a fucking neo-Nazi. But
Yeah. A dipshit.
I mean not for me, but for him.
I
There
I
are not enough
listen.
years in the universe.
While we're on the subject of Joe Rogan,
Let's go on our podcast to bitch about Joe Rogan. Let's do
yeah.
this.
I think
Um,
there's a big difference between us and Joe Rogan, Dean.
That is entirely fair.
Oh no, there's this only one difference.
I could start smoking
It's
cigars
that
and I
there's
could
four of
shave my
us.
head if that would help.
Do you want to start dropping DMT on air? That might help.
There's a Joe Rogan clip that and it's listen, I don't know many of these Joe Rogan clips, but there's one that I really enjoy because my friend Brian showed it to me. Shout out to Brian.
Shout out to
And
Brian.
he's got two dudes on his podcast, and I have no idea who they are, but they're talking about like growing up in like the hood, right? So they're like talking about like gang violence that they
And it's
witnessed
fully
growing up.
just Drake. Sorry, that's a lie. Keep talking.
They're talking about like gang violence they witnessed growing up, and one of them is like, "Oh yeah, like I shot like 16 people, this and that, blah blah blah." And then like from off camera, you just hear Joe Rogan go, "Huh."
You know, what are
Like,
you gonna say?
That's fair. What
He
would you
can't
say in that
relate.
scenario?
yeah.
Joe Rogan has never shot anyone. He's just forced hundreds of people to eat bugs and watch them have panic attacks in front of him.
Okay, I
Sometimes
know we're
bugs is
not
yummy.
journalists as podcasters, right?
Oh, definitely not. We're pundits.
However, if one of you said you killed even one person, I'm going to have some questions other
Follow up.
than,
Or
huh.
potentially edit it out.
Yeah.
Either or, probably both.
I feel like
Doesn't
there's a
he air
follow-up.
it live, though?
I
I
don't know.
don't
I
know.
don't
I
know
don't
enough
think
about
so.
Joe Rogan to.
At that point, we're taking a 5-minute break.
Yes. Yeah, if one of
Yeah.
you guys drops... Yeah, honestly, even manslaughter, I'm going to have questions for you.
Man's laughter. It's a crime.
But
Man's laughter.
I was trying to come up with the bridge to get there.
Sometimes you don't need a bridge. You just have
You
to
just have to
leap.
say it, yeah.
Right. Well made joke there, Tess. Man's laughter. I loved it.
Anyway, that guy should get some Joe Rogan, am I right?
Oh.
I also need
Got
it a
him.
little bit, but not as much as that guy.
As you know, despite my full head of hair, most of my uncles have widow peaks, so my side got lucky on the hair front.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
I
think
love my
Az and
widow's
I are
peak.
allowed to make balding jokes, but
It's-
not bald, like full bald.
I've
Is
been full
Rogan
bald.
full bald?
Rogan is
Oh
full
yeah,
bald, I think.
Rogan's full bald.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'll find a full bald as pic to drop in the Discord.
Oh,
Hang on.
Fuck yeah.
you showed us though. Fuck, what was it Daddy Warbucks? I think you played him
Oh,
at
have
one.
I? I love that this is not the first time that this has come up. Okay, yeah,
There's
just
no shame in being bald unless you're also evil. You can only be one. You
What are
cannot be
the what are
both.
the both? That's why Rogan sucks. Bald and evil.
Yep. You get put in the Lex Luthor drawer.
So, yeah.
in the Doctor Evil camp.
Yeah. The Dr. Evil hamper.
Yeah, yeah.
Throw them in, boys.
Man, Blofeld's gonna have some words with us on that one.
Are you just Googling bald villains?
No, I googled Blofeld earlier this week, so it's kind of been on my head. I don't even care about James Bond. I just like an idea. I was like, oh, that'd be an interesting comic, and I thought about Blofeld. Anyway,
Hang on,
I
now
watched
I'm
Dr. No
Googling
the other
bald
day.
villains.
I have to find a pen.
Blofeld. If you go with the original 1970s Blofeld, that's the one I'm using because the one in the most recent rendition had a full head of hair.
Ugh.
Cassandra in Deadpool and Wolverine. There's a bald
Well,
villain.
if it was just the most recent iteration that he had hair, it could have been a transplant.
That's true.
Let's see, who else do we got here?
Oh, there's plenty. Like, freaking Patrick Stewart's played so many bald characters.
Megamind.
That makes sense for him to play. Megamind. There we
Megamind.
go.
Mhm.
I tried to shave my head in the 6th grade, and my parents had to say, we don't like to employ our use of, you can't do this, but you cannot do that. And then I said, that's not fair. And then 2 months later, I said, thank you.
Kingpin.
Kingpin.
There's another one.
Oh, the
Dr.
Kingpin
Robotnik.
claws.
Dr. Robotnik.
Boom.
The
I just-
Robotnik protocol.
I just keep
I
coming
cut
up
it
with
to
them.
here.
Uh,
I cut my hair to here, and then kids would make fun of me. And then after they made fun of me, they'd be like, well, why did you do that? And I would say, I donated my hair to cancer. And then they got really quiet really fast. And that's when people stopped asking me questions when I made stupid mistakes.
Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
Another bald
Evil.
villain.
The Tooch. Not a villain, though, as far as we know.
Depends on the
You don't know
show.
the Tooch like I know the Tooch.
Welcome to
most
the Tooch
villainous-
Files.
What could
One of the most villainous roles he's been in. Sorry, you can go ahead.
I was to say, welcome to the Tooch cast.
No, I appreciate that. One of the most villainous roles he's been in, he wore a large wig, and that was, again, Hunger Games, tying it back. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yes.
He had a
was so
ponytail,
good
yeah.
in that.
He was great, yeah.
Where does
Not a full-on villain, though, really.
No,
Like, he's
he
part
was
of it,
evil
but
on
he's not
accident.
behind it.
He was more. He had more to do with it than the average citizen of the Capitol, but less to do with it than the people that were actually evil. It gets into a discussion about complicity, and that's a separate thing.
Yeah, definitely a Quisling of some sort.
Rue from Despicable Me.
there you go.
Oh,
There we go.
Arms.
classic comedy villain.
You simply can't try to steal the moon.
I have one here.
The Minions aren't bald though.
Are they shaved?
No, they have hair. I'm looking
No,
at
they don't.
I'm looking at a Minions JPEG right now. These guys have hair.
Welcome to the Minions
Oh,
cast.
they've got Charlie Brown hair. Yeah, they got Charlie Brown hair.
They got Charlie Brown. They've got Homer Simpson hair.
Would we consider the thumbs to be bald, or are they just thumbs?
I don't think they have heads to be
Well,
bald.
their head is a thumb, so that's just a separate thing.
I don't know.
I've been thinking about them a lot.
I think the thumbs are pushing it a little bit.
I've been thinking about Spy Kids a lot lately.
Hell yeah. I love this.
All right, viewers, listeners,
Countrymen.
give us your bald villains.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe we didn't say that one yet.
Yeah, that's like one of the most.
Yeah, that's a gimme.
I want to slap that guy's bald head.
I think you should.
Louis Armstrong for Full Metal Alchemist. That's another bald character.
You were saying Louis Armstrong
he a
was also
villain?
bald, but not a villain.
No, he's actually one of the good guys. I just wanted to point out a bald character on the spectrum of good and evil on bald hair.
Oh, well, if we're
Okay.
doing that, then I'm going to say Die Hard, Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
Anti-hero.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense.
Is he an anti-hero or is he just well, he's still a cop, so you're right, anti-hero.
One of my favorite
ACAB, even when
balds
you're
is John. Oh, God damn it! I'm thinking of his fake name
John
now.
Cena?
Paul Scheer on The Good Place. He's one of the Good Place committee.
Posture is great.
It's a good one for sure.
Oh, and I forget his name. I usually think of him as the dean, but I saw him today on Abbott Elementary, which is
Oh,
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy. That
He-
queen.
one of the best men in the world.
Something
Truly.
Roush, I want to say his name is.
Mike
Okay.
Ehrmantraut. I mean,
Not. It's sort of an in-betweener.
yeah.
Jim Rash. That's the name of the actor.
Yep.
Walter.
And he's so good.
Walter,
Being
you
Craig
make
Cotton.
meth, Walter. Here's
And he
what
did.
you're gonna do. You're gonna go down to the GameStop and you're gonna ask them, the girl at the counter, if they have a copy of Bambi for the PS2.
And if they do, you buy 3 Funko Pops as well.
Yeah, and then you come right back here. You don't make any pit stops. That's my Mike Ehrmantraut impression, everybody.
Oh,
I
it was
hope you
gorgeous.
enjoyed it.
That's good. I like it.
Fantastic.
As somebody who's
Okay.
never watched Breaking Bad and only watched Better Call Saul.
Oh, in that case, spot on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Better Call Saul finale was so good.
Mm.
I'm showing Alex Lewis Armstrong on
That guy do have strong arms.
Yeah,
On
they do
the
have strong
stream.
arms.
Armstrong, baby.
Yeah.
I like his mustache a lot.
It's a great mustache.
There have been some good mustaches around lately.
Yeah.
Do we want to go into hair-based villainy, or should we?
I think we should play the game.
Yeah.
We'll do mustaches next time, viewer.
Yeah.
Check in and tell
Send
us
in your
I'll
favorite
shave
mustaches
villains.
and we'll discuss.
I'll shave my facial hair by then so that I only have a mustache.
Oh, wait.
left.
I
Save it for...
actually... Mhm.
I was gonna say, I was talking with Tess about this, or like earlier on TikTok. We can do a few like one-shot elsewhere of the worlds where characters are allowed to you're allowed to explore different versions of your character.
Oh, I sent as the thing that I was talking about too. It was the Barbie Paladin.
Yeah, the Barbie palette. So it was like it was like if Ven was like this, it was like you could be playing Mustache Gary, or Villain Gary at that point because like every villain has a mustache for some reason.
You could also just be Alan Gary if you prefer. It's up to
Is
you.
it this one?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'll watch it later. Yeah, I was at work when you sent me this. I can't watch
No, it's
TikTok at work.
Oh my God, you can't. No, it's a full like sheet and write up of an oath of friendship or something paladin that's just Barbie themed.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I like
Part of-
I
that.
said it's Ven, but not Ven, but it's pretty much Ven.
I would say in an Elseworlds episode, you could always shave down to just your mustache and say this is what Gary would have.
Well,
Or
Gary doesn't have any facial hair, if memory serves.
Oh,
Look
okay.
at this photograph of him. Gary's a clean-shaven man. Actually, I'm gonna.
We've been on the
open
road
this-
for a while. He could have
I'm gonna put
updated.
this in MS Paint, and I'm gonna draw a nice mustache on him. Hang
Oh,
on.
I always just kind of figured that people kept personal toiletries with them, that kind of thing. I feel like Gary would have a shaving kit with him just in case.
Oh yeah. You can
Yeah,
just switch
yeah.
it up on the road. Yeah, I just recently rewatched Pride and Prejudice, so I've been thinking about mutton chops a lot.
Was there both Pride and Prejudice in it?
As always, yeah.
Does what
Okay.
it says on the tin.
All right. It is as described.
That's one of my favorite books. I reread it every year, and then I rewatch it at least a couple times per year. And the 2005 version is actually going to be in theaters next month for the 20th anniversary. I'm very excited.
I was actually just about to ask you, what is your preferred version of Pride and Prejudice?
I
It's been made a
prefer
few
the
times.
2005. The 95 is closer to the text. It's the BBC one that's like 6 or 7 episodes.
Okay.
2005 is just like a little bit. gonna say romanticized. That's an insane thing because it's already a romance. The 2005 is a little bit, easier to swallow. So I prefer. I know a lot of people start with BBC, especially since they trust BBC. But 2005. We've
I
got
bounced right off the BBC because the clothes were whack.
they're wild. The
They might have
2005 are not. Yeah.
they might have been more accurate historically because those Victorians wore some wacky ass
They
clothes.
That's the thing about
But
95 is it's more accurate, but it's not as fun. So the 2005 is kind of Bridgertonified, but keeps the main through line to the point where it's still kosher.
Okay.
cool.
All right. Let's get into this because we're just gonna do the thing where we don't actually play the game until like a half hour in. We've done that a few times.
Speaking of Ven, welcome to Easy
Guys, I'm
segue.
not gonna lie, I'm kind of fucking with Gary having a mustache.
I like it.
I think it matches his character. There could be some sort of
It-
at
if
some
G-
point he just decides to try it.
if Gary were to have a mustache or a beard, it would be groomed at the very least. I would see it not scraggly. It would be very much like groomed, and
In
probably treated.
fact, yeah, it gives more weight to you asking for the secret recipe to the beard oil.
That's in the
The
Oh
sequel
mustache
yeah,
oil.
series.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
can make
yeah.
it yourself.
That's in the sequel series. Tune in for Wayward Vagabonds season 2. Uh,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, it kind of works actually. You're
Yeah,
right.
right?
Az. Yeah,
It looks good.
It's
It looks
perfect by
good on
contrast.
him.
dang.
Unfortunately, Gary looks good regardless, but
All right, let's get into this. Welcome to Omniversal Escapades. We are your hosts for the show. I am the Dungeon Master for this adventure, and we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Our X's meaning we do not bring them into the campaign. Our children in peril, depictions of gore, slavery, sexual assault. Our veils meaning that we just allude to. Our body horror and feces. When we get an opportunity there, Jeff, can you give us a quick recap on last episode?
Ooh, gosh, I'm glad you asked. Let me see if I took good notes here. March 9th. Let's see. Az apologized to Gerald, the Nussbaum gnome, for Susie's past behavior. Az tries to get more info. They then all got baths at the bathhouse. Gary got in the sauna. At the Capitol, the boys love the architecture while Susie Ann takes in the shade. Then she goes shopping for new clothes and a bra. Gary visits foul-smelling Peter's grill house for directions. Az talks to himself, and it's delightful. Next, we're going to visit Los Lobos Locos bookstore. From there, we find out about a secret bookstore called Stupendous Appendices. Then we find a house called Dolly's Place. Oh, no, that's Dolly's house. Dolly from Yellowbird. We meet
Good old Dolly.
mid-30s-esque elven woman Betty Mustang. She's making a casserole later in the week. Gary studies the dossier on Father Mason. Father Mason's right-hand stooge is Clay Hemsworth, who has like paladin level, like he's up in the hierarchy. Ven and Susie Ann visit Stupendous Appendices. Susie makes a contact. Ven gets some info on the church and the Gold District. Gary meets with Father Mason. We learn there's another stolen artifact, a historical sword. He hired the Vagabonds because he wants this investigation done discreetly.
The
So, of
Viagra
course-
Bonds are a different group.
Yeah,
I was gonna say unrelated, but that's not true. It's just not this group.
that's our branded medicine that was coming out in the fall. We weren't supposed to talk about that yet.
Look, it's called a
It's
side
it's a
hustle.
mix
Look it up.
between it's a mix between Gorilla Glue and Viagra. It's
Yeah, don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
don't think too
we're
much
still
into it.
working
Oh,
out the
don't worry about
kinks.
Don't worry about it.
Or maybe denture adhesive. I don't know, something with a bond.
Mhm.
investigation done discreetly. So, of course, he picked us, the Vagabonds. And there's a new sheriff in Granite Town. I don't know if there
Yeah.
actually is or if I just wrote that because one of us said
Yeah,
or
whether
slash
there's
thought
a
that.
new sheriff in town or there's a new sheriff in town. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Everything is basically covered. The episode is mostly just to set up the upcoming adventure and to like fill in some blanks. That has been pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and start from here. I will give you all an opportunity to do something in the capital if you want, but we're gonna after that go to Granite Town. Does anyone want
Cool.
to do anything before you all head out? As
I do.
what's up?
So if you recall in the last episode, I kind of set up a contact so that I could go and study the book at the one store.
Mhm.
I would like to go and see if there's anything about the main religion's holy artifacts in this book, specifically the ones that we're looking for.
So you're going back to Stupendous Dependencies to look over the book. I have it written down here. 1 second. I thought I had it written down. Oh,
The Book of Fancy Statuary.
That's
Yeah.
exactly how I remember it being said.
there it is. Nope. I must have wrote it down. Anyway, a point being that it's the like church, the cult's holy
Bible.
text.
Yeah. So I want to
Um,
see if there's anything about like the church's like holy artifacts, like specifically what we're searching for.
Okay. Um, as you're going through it, it doesn't have any explicit information other than it says, like, as far as the holy artifacts go, is do not trust their stories about these artifacts. They're built upon a lie.
Okay. And there's like nothing past that. Like I know that like the sword and shield that we're looking for were used in what kind of sounded like subjugation.
Real quick, hello, Cringe in chat. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you too. Um, yeah, so it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of information. If you want to give me an investigation roll, I'll give you an idea what the book is about.
Yeah, I'll click that button real quick.
Click that button.
That's gonna be a solid 6.
I'm not gonna make it a very high book. You just won't get a lot of information out of it, basically. You feel like rather than I have it written down here, the Seculum Inferitorium. It actually that might be the name of the book you're reading. I'll have to actually check back to the last episode, but
It's a good book name.
thank you. The holy text of the Immortal Monarch is very kind of pushy. It tells you what you should be doing, right? It tells you like you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. In contrast, this book is mostly trying to not, and the way it's descriptive, instead of saying you should do this, is like this is uh, instead of telling you what to do, it's trying to help you draw your own conclusions, basically.
Okay.
That's the general like it's worded in a way that's meant to help you infer your own information. It still gives opinions, but it doesn't say like this is this. It's like this is what we believe, sort of thing.
Okay.
Um,
In that case, then if I'm not gonna get any more like info about what we're looking for, is there like this is a silly thing to ask, but is there like a travel agency anywhere that I could get info about the goings on in Granite Town before we get there?
Worth checking.
Sure. I gotta think of a persona real quick. Hold on.
Mhm. Or I'm doing two things in a row. If somebody else would like to do something before I do that.
Mine
Phil,
might cause a ruckus, so I can wait.
Okay.
Go for it. I'm going to grab my tea.
Okay. All right then. Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, check out the equivalent of a travel agency in the capital.
Okay, so after a bit, you do find a place. The name of the place is Glengarry Glen Beck's Travel Agency.
Been there.
Hit me with that one more time.
Glengarry Glen Beck Travel Agency.
Glengarry Glen Beck. Okay.
Is
Yes,
that 2 men or 4 men?
that's a good
Or are any
question
of
you've
them
asked.
women?
That is a good question you've asked. As you walk in, there's one man standing behind a counter, and it's like, "Oh, good to meet you." Immediately walks up to you, starts shaking your hand. I do appreciate a well-dressed
Very
man like
good.
yourself. Hello there, my name is Glengarry Glen Beck. You up? You're having a great day. We do offer a series of packages. Are you looking for anything in particular today?
Slow your roll there, Glengarry.
Uh, I do have the correction. My name is Glengarry Glen Beck.
Oh, is that all the first name?
Oh no, my first name is Glengarry. Last name is Glen Beck.
Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed we were on a first name basis. Mr. Glenn Beck.
Thank you.
Uh, uh, this is
Stupid.
awesome. Um, yeah, I don't, I'm all set on travel packages per se. I'm just kind of looking for brochure, anything of the sort on a certain destination. You got anything on Granite Town?
Granite Town? I got a few things on Granite Town, but people don't want to go to Granite Town. How about this? He's going to show like a tropical island with dead trees because it's still apocalyptic. It's like this is a great vacation spot right here. It's called the Fuji Islands. There used to be apples here. That's why it was called that. Anyway, this place is great in this time of year. The weather is great and it's right by the ocean. I think you might enjoy that.
Hey,
Oh wait.
bud, I already have travel set up to Granite Town. I'm just trying to get some information on there, you see, Mr. Glenn Beck.
Oh, all right. It's gonna put some stuff away. I mean, uh, all right. What are you looking for anything in particular to this, Mr.
Gary, you can call me.
All right, we're on a first name basis now. You can call me Glenn Gary.
Hey, we kind of have the
Focus.
same name there, except you got a Glenn there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Uh, well, Mr. Gary, um, a few items here. Unfortunately, they don't send me as much in the way of advertisement material. Um, but like there's a ski lodge out in the mountains not that far from me. I hear it's pretty nice.
hmm
Um,
So I'm here's what I'm looking for, son. The dangers of traveling to Granite Town. I know why people don't go to Granite Town. What specifically is going on there that's driving people away these days?
oh, hmm. Well, now there's I had to say this on account of you being one of them giant folks, right? But
Oh, listen, I'm from there. I take no offense at all. I haven't been in a while, so I'm just trying to get the lay of the land. You feel me?
I understand. Most recent rumors is that there's been like a gang takeover of the town. Um, the previous town mayor was deposed by the local I guess mafia, thieves guild, coterie.
Wow. Hmm. Okay. Gary is like clenching his fists.
Um, and I'm not saying this in any way to be disrespectful to you, sir. That's just what I've been hearing is that the local coterie has taken over the town. Uh,
I know you mean no disrespect, and actually that's some of the greatest information you could have given me. Thank you so much, Glengarry Glenbeck.
oh, that's not a problem, Mister Gary. If at all you need to plan a package, I can help, and my rates are reasonable.
Do you have a card?
I sure do. He's gonna hand you one of his cards he had in
Cool.
his in the tin card holder in his jacket pocket.
All right, cool. Um, yeah, that's all I needed. Gary immediately throws away the card when he walks outside. He
Wait till
took it to
episode.
be he took it to be polite.
It's gonna be episode 25 is like, oh man, we need to travel a very long distance for fairly cheap. How are we gonna do this?
I'm not gonna
Motherfucker.
forget Glengarry Glenbeck.
How could we?
Yeah.
Were either of us close by? Sorry, I was wandering around.
You can say that you're with Gary at the time if you want, unless Gary had objections. So
No.
I'll be like, what was that I heard about Granite Town?
the local troublemakers seem to have taken over the government out there, which may not be great for me personally.
You got any family back there?
Yep.
Well, shoot. Maybe we ought to muscle on over there real fast, solve their societal ills.
Maybe we should be as quiet as possible while we're there
Oh, that works too.
and not make a
I
ruckus.
guess we
And-
did say we were going to be discreet for the
And
church.
you know what? Maybe I should stay indoors and not be seen by anyone.
This is when Gary grows his mustache. That's why there's that mustache version of Gary.
No one will recognize me now.
It's this big.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's one of those like ones that's just like really big. It's just like a lot. It's a big goatee. It's a big bushy goatee.
It's the type
Yeah.
that fully changes your entire personage.
That's
yeah.
right. Phil, sorry, go back with the scene. I apologize.
so you're going to wear a Yosemite Sam stash and hide.
Big ol' hat, probably.
Oh yeah, can I go
A very
hat shopping
small hat.
before we leave?
Yeah, let's look for hats.
All right, shopping montage. I'm not worried about it. Like the money is not super important for this kind of thing. It's yeah,
Can we just say I just get a hat?
yeah, sure,
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
Disguises were part of our allotted per diem.
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
I'd like to ask Gary, like, what are people like there? Like, what are we going to have to, is there a particular posture or a way of speaking or a style we should try to match?
It's rough. It's rough out there. It's definitely a kind of you're gonna want to keep your head low and kind of follow the crowd a little bit. You don't want to be too noticeable.
I can tamp down my candle a bit.
Susie
I think
sounds
it'd be
so
wise.
disappointed. Sorry.
Put my light under a bushel, as it were.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
So yeah, let's get hats and coats in sort of muted tones.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Real-
blend into the desert.
Real quick,
Running
Jeff.
full beige.
On the stream, you have Tess and Az a spot and Az and Tess a spot.
Oh, that's fun.
Fuck, how is this the first anybody is saying anything? Oh,
I
God.
literally just noticed. Yeah, Tess put it in the group chat here, so I looked over.
So I was the
Terrible.
first that noticed.
Yeah. I'm not taking that credit. That's
It's a pretty name. I'll take it, but you
Oh,
know, everybody
thanks.
should be correct.
I picked it myself. Thank you.
Oh, Jesus. Hmm.
all right.
Oh,
So
man, this. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, I'm doing something completely unrelated to anything right now. I'm just doing more Gary Photoshop.
All right. So
Okay, solved it.
in the are you all shopping for muted clothing? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Just kind of gray brown.
I feel like Gary could not succumb himself to be wearing muted colors. I mean, I can't.
They're still jewel tones, but they're muted.
I can't
Mhm.
tell Gary what to do. Obviously, this is your character as, but I don't feel like he'd be like, I wear browns and tans. I hate it. I feel naked.
He I think he knows how to dress down, right? Like I think that he's just gonna like run without like the overcoat and like the frills and everything. Like he can look casual.
Okay. All right. Are you wanting to do anything else before you head out for Granite Town?
Yeah, at 2 a.m. I want to go over to the Gold District.
Okay.
It might cause a big old fucking thing. I'm gonna be as discreet as possible. I want to figure out why it's closed from 2 to 5.
Okay, and now are you trying to hide from us as well?
No, I'm not trying to. Sorry, Federal Boob Inspector.
Because if so, I
Um,
want to sneak after you.
no,
Oh my
I am
god.
not specifically trying to be discreet from you guys, but I imagine that I try to head out on my own just to be like the least impact possible. So I could definitely see Susie and just being like, I'm not fucking staying here. And then just,
I'm just
yeah.
I'm just practicing my stealth. I'm back like
Yeah,
100
it's worth
feet,
it. Yeah, it's worth it.
keeping
No,
tabs on you.
I'm basically like, you guys stay here. I'm just gonna go see what's going on. I'm gonna make sure nothing happens because I don't feel like doing a whole thing. We already have travel plans for tomorrow. We talked to Glenn Beck. Uh, so I just want to see what's happening.
I don't think that Gary would just let you go. I think Gary's also there.
That's probably fair. TLDR, I did not try to sneak out under the cover of darkness. I
Okay.
basically was like, oh, I'll just go. But then, I mean, I'm not gonna fight you guys when you're like, no, actually.
I mean, Gary's like, go ahead, do whatever you want. I'm just gonna be about 30 feet back.
Yeah, that sounds. I like the idea of you 30 feet back and then Susie and another
And I'll
70
be
feet
another
behind that.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah, just right around the corner if
Well,
you need me.
yeah, Gary, it's your last time to be out and about before we go into Granite Town and you kind of got to hide out. So that's
Yeah.
fair. That's absolutely
He's got
fair.
his FBI hat on. It's
Yeah,
funny because
that's
the FBI doesn't exist in this world. So it's literally just a hat to be female booby inspector. Like,
female booby inspectors have always existed and they always will.
yeah.
At this time, the FBI, they were called the Finkertons.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah.
The
Pinkerton
Finkertons.
the Pinkerton Bureau of Indoctrination. No, I don't have anything. That's where that is.
Pinkerton, the only way to make the word Pinkerton worse.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. Okay.
All right. So
Stinkerton. Yeah, the
Stinkerton.
No, I
Stinkerton
kind of love
Agency.
it. No, I love it either way.
Stinkertons, that's a winner.
It's also not great.
2 in the Pinkerton and 1 in the Stinkerton.
Using your Pinkertons. You did this, not me. Me and Az didn't do this.
I did it a little bit.
I think you just killed Jeff a little on that one. Okay. So as you go to the Gold District, I do believe that you went there earlier in the day. So one thing you'll notice as you pull up
Yeah.
is that the district itself is gated off, right? There
Mhm.
are obviously during the day there was open entrances. You can just kind of walk in, not really a big
Mhm.
deal.
Yeah,
But
it was a little market area.
right as you pull up, all the gates are locked, and you will see like paladins standing outside.
How high are the fences?
About 15 feet.
All right, I got 8. So if you want to get on my shoulders,
Susie would get on your shoulders and I would get on Susie's shoulders and then I could kind of hop over.
we'll call it the Leaning Tower of Vagabonds.
See, I was gonna say we could just try to get onto a rooftop and see what we could see, but this is fun too.
It's very like three kids in a trench coat situation. All they were
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
one of them is very tall.
And one of the
So the-
paladins is just, I don't trust like that.
So there's not a way to find like a door or a gate guard that we could bribe. We have to go over the top.
Oh, I'm sure we could find a gate guard. That was my immediate, like, yeah, get off my shoulders.
And I'm yes-anding here. I provided my alternative, but I'm not saying no. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking roofs.
I'm
you were
sorry, I
thinking
should
sneak
be-
in.
I keep forgetting it's a comedy show. We should comedy forward.
No, you're right. Susie would probably be like, "Can't we bribe one of these fucking dudes?"
But then she realizes you guys are planning some hijinks and she has to get
Yeah, we're
involved. So she
excited.
gets on Gary's shoulders and lifts you up.
I am
Sticks you on top
actively
of the wall.
hearing my own voice from earlier today being like, and I'm trying to not be caught from when I was leaving. And I was like, we're just going to see what's happening and not start a ruckus. And I'm looking at what's occurring. Yeah, yeah, shit. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
We're leaving in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so your Ven's up on top of the wall now, I guess. Or do we have to roll?
Yeah, how
Then
much scrabbling do I have to do from Suji's shoulders on Gary's shoulders to get over this fence?
I'm not gonna make you all roll for it because I don't find it particularly pertinent for that kind of thing. But I do need to know if you are jumping into the gold district or someone's throwing you into the gold district. Because it kind of depends on
Well,
like
how tall is the wall?
15 feet.
15
So 8
feet.
feet plus 5.5, that's 13.5. So that's
So I'm
plenty of room to
scrabbling
just
over.
for Ven to scrabble up on the top. Take the rope,
Uh-huh.
and Gary will hold one end, and you'll take the other end
So
down.
can we see inside enough to see kind of any structures in there? Because if possible, I want to scrabble on behind some sort of, you know, I'm imagining booths, but that's probably not accurate. But I'm trying to have a little bit of cover when I come down on the other side.
You could definitely find like a merchant stall to step to like hide behind. Booths are not
Hmm.
inaccurate because merchant stalls and booths are kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could definitely say like you land behind or on top or whatever of a merchant stall.
Okay.
And
Um,
if you could loop
Yeah.
your end of the rope around something heavy,
Mm.
Gary and I could climb over without having to make a bunch of noise or whatever.
Yeah, if there's something attached to the ground that I can tie it to, that would be perfect. I would say one of the merchant stalls, but knowing how,
Hey, I'll tell you
heavy a
what.
Goliath can be, that's
I think Gary's gonna stay on the one side of the wall and just hold the
that's fair.
rope and pull you back over if you need it.
Okay.
Fair,
and
fair,
Okay.
fair. That makes it a lot easier. In
You
that
know
case, I
what?
can just tie it around a stall.
And I will do Overwatch from the top of the wall.
oh dang, are you playing
Which,
Farah?
yeah, which one are you? Are you Mercy?
Sorry, I haven't played that game.
Are you Winston? Winston's the funny monkey one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm Winston with a big crossbow covering Ven.
Gorgeous. Mm-hmm.
Given your size, does that mean you are Doomfist? Considering
I
how big
haven't
Gary
played
is?
that game
Oh,
either. I
fair
just
enough.
know that
Okay.
Winston's a funny monkey.
All right, fair enough, fair enough.
Oh, actually, for
I
me
haven't
to
played the
get
game
up
either.
there, yeah, you would have to tie it off somewhere.
So I will say if it makes it any easier to
Yeah.
tie off, I did refer to it as a gate. I will sometimes use the term
Oh
interchangeably, but
yeah,
it's
I
not.
could just tie it to the back half of it.
Yeah, you could just like
Cool.
one of the poles. So it's
So
Boom.
yeah, I'm up on top covering your 6 as you go
Swag.
snooping.
all right. So the
Sweet.
scene basically is with Ven. Ven, what are you doing?
What's happening in here? Is there anything I can catch just from immediately coming down off that wall, or
Give me a perception check.
all right. Every week we figure out if my big dice will roll well or roll poorly, and I give it one chance. What am I rolling?
Perception.
It's a 14.
In the distance, you hear the slight sound of the movement of armor. Looks like it's towards the center of the gold district.
Okay. Yeah, I will look up at Suzanne, kind of tilt my head to say where I'm planning on going, and then I'll head that way.
Okay.
Okay, maybe a hand signal for like I heard something in that direction,
Oh.
so I can look in that direction. Do I see anybody from up higher where I am?
Not from where you're at. No, there are too many merchant stalls in the way to see what they're pointing at. You just see like the tops of a bunch of merchant stalls.
Is the wall wide enough to like skulk along it, or is it just
I
sort of
would
like
need
pointy and shit?
So the way I'm imagining it is like just wrought iron going straight up from the ground, and it does bend over at the top with rod iron going across the top for support. So like yeah, you can sit on it and you can walk across it, but I would need like an acrobatics check because you're moving across like a very thin, well not very thin, but like a fairly thin rod while you're doing it, or the tops of the rods.
I think I'll just stay put for now, but I'm listening closely. So if you give 3 hoots, it's
Give a
come
hoot.
running. And if you
Yeah,
give
if I do
four
some duck
hoots,
sounds or something.
if
Yeah.
it's four hoots, it's run away and save
We employ
yourself.
the animal sound system from yeah,
For the
absolutely.
adventure, right.
Yeah.
And
If it's
And
surely
I'll
we've worked out all the kinks in that by now.
Oh,
mhm.
well,
And I'll
how could there
send
be any
a
problems? Yeah.
thumbs up down
thumbs up
Gary's
down.
way.
Perf.
Gary's just like Gary's playing Cookie Clicker on his phone.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a stealth check. I will say if you want to errata just slightly and say that you did not come here in armor, I will say that's fine, given that you knew that this would happen.
Yeah, I mean, my plan was to come and sneak around.
Yeah, so it'd be fine with saying that you are not wearing your armor, so you don't have to worry about your negative.
Frickin' day of rolling 12s. That is a that's a 12. I have 0 to stealth, yeah.
Do you have nothing in dexterity?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you said um yeah, no, nothing for Dex.
Okay.
That's not how I'm built, baby.
All right, so this is a 12. All right, so you proceed forward. Um, as you move towards the sound of the clanging of armor, and you peer over to one of the stalls, you will see that there are a bunch of paladins with lanterns grouped around one of the statue that's in the middle of the gold district.
Are they dressed? Is there any way that they're dressed separately from the paladins on the outside to denote some sort of different thing? I mean, I imagine they're all here for the same purpose, but is there anything to denote that they're in any way separate from the guards on the outside who are also paladins?
Give me a perception check because you're trying to keep it
Fair.
as like a fairly safe distance.
Damn. I complain about the 12s and then I get an 8, but that's a perception, so that's a 10.
I will. So most of the people there look about the same as the ones outside. You will see a couple of people who look different, and the best way to explain them is like, at least with your role currently, is that unlike the rest of the paladins, they're not wearing helmets.
Okay.
Um, and the armor does look nicer, but it's kind of hard to tell from here how they're any different beyond that.
Okay, so just based on that, they're not planning on fighting. They're a little bit higher up in the chain of command. Sounds good. So I've noticed more paladins. I haven't noticed anything else in my search for what's happening. At where I'm seeing, is that where the noise is coming from, or is the noise coming from beyond there?
The noise is coming from beyond there, but you quickly determine it because I'll tell you what happens. After about a few minutes of like scoping it out, you will see a group of paladins walking towards the group carrying something.
Okay. Um, all right. I'll probably just hide to see if I can suss out what they're carrying or if they present it to the other paladins or bring it past them to wherever they're going.
Okay. As the paladins
Is the
do,
rest of the street empty? It's just other than this, they have like two rows of guards and then whatever's beyond it.
yeah, so there are no merchants in this area, no civilians in this area. As
Yeah,
far
that
as you
makes
can tell,
sense.
there's only the paladins. And
Okay. Yeah.
go ahead, sorry.
No, that was it.
After a few minutes of like watching this happen, you're gonna hear someone go like, "Hey, I think I heard movement over there."
Well, that's weird because I'm not moving. Is he pointing at where I'm at when he says movement?
In the general direction thereof. He doesn't see you per se, but he like hears move.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I'm not moving, but I also don't want to get caught, so I will be getting out of here.
Um,
I
I
mhm.
have a quick question. Can Gary hear this from the other side of the wall?
Not this far away, no.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
did you follow me down the wall when I started moving
No.
or
No.
yeah.
Because
No.
I was gonna
That's what I
say
thought.
if they were like I heard movement over there, I was just gonna have Gary sneeze from the other side of the wall. Just like, oh, I'm out here, don't worry.
Did you hear? I think I heard something? Quack. Oh, it's just a duck.
I'll I'll try to make a hand signal to Susie that she should make some noise,
We're
but I'm not
we're
willing to
out of
make a
sight.
noise to do it.
You You went
Okay, I
past some
didn't.
houses or
Okay.
whatever, so I can't see
Oh,
you.
that's fair. Okay.
Lily, imagine the district, the gold district is similar to like a bazaar you would see in films. There's a
Yeah,
lot of booths here. So
totally fair.
um
So you could hide as an action. I don't know if he'd give you another stealth check or how that
I
would
mean,
work.
if you want to re-roll, that's fine. We're not in combat, so I'm not worried about the action as it is now.
Mm.
I'm not gonna be like, do a bonus action. We're not in combat. But you can go ahead and re-roll. I will say that you do have advantage if you were to dip and dive between the different stalls.
Okay. That's an 11. My idea was either towards my friends or away from my friends. I just want to get away from where they pointed to say there's sound coming from there.
Okay.
I rolled a
Uh,
2, so 11's good. I'm still mad that it's an 11, but it's better than a 2.
did
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
It's
was
9
that with
better.
advantage?
Yeah, no. Yep.
All right. You start running with your roll. You start hearing the sound of a whistle, and
Uh-huh.
the paladin starting to run towards where you are at.
Fair. Well, to be fair, I told you guys this might cause a ruckus when I said I wanted to do this. So I'm gonna keep moving, you know? They can't catch me. So,
Do I hear boots and armor clattering?
Yeah, you will have boots and armor clattering.
So I'm like, shoo-wee! Whoo! And I'll twang a crossbow bolt up in the air and try to aim it so it lands on top of a booth or a house or something so it makes a bunch of noise. But like in the opposite direction I know Ven went.
All right, give me a performance check. You're kind of using
Hell
this
yeah.
to like distract.
If possible, if I am trying to get back towards the rope, but if that's where they were kind of cutting me off, it's fair that I'm going the opposite direction.
At the moment, they're not cutting you off. They are moving towards where you are at, or at least where they think you are at.
So I rolled a
Okay,
19.
well, then maybe I shouldn't be going towards where you're going now that you're causing a ruckus.
You rolled a 19.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what I will say. Um, Ven will hear this because Ven's the one in the vicinity. Oh wait, I think I just heard something on the other side of the district. All right, well, you men go that way. We'll go this way. We'll scan out, try and find this intruder. So, essentially,
I'll
you
I'll
split the
start
group.
singing a drunken, like, what do you call it? Just a town drinking song. I'm basically
Classic
pretending to be a
2 a.m.
drunk that
business.
climbed a lamppost, and I start like banging on the gate, and I'm like, yeah,
Philly
woo!
style.
Gary is just like fully face in his hands.
You've put down Candy Crush to be
Yeah.
okay.
I just want to match in Marvel Snap too. I'm really upset.
Yeah, he's just like, what the fuck are we doing?
I'm gonna run over the top of the gate to the other side of the wall, like to the other part of the wall, and like now I'm gonna do acrobatics to try to like make a bunch of noise, but going away from the rope in case Ven comes back to retreat.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check.
Oh, not so good. 10.
I did put this as kind of difficult because you're just kind of like moving from wrought iron bend to one runner bend. So,
And
but
pretending to be drunk.
yeah. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Susie's trying to be noticed, right? Right now, trying to pull attention. One of the guards is gonna have one of their like bullet lantern, which is for people who don't know, it's an enhanced candle with a lens on one side, so the candle, the light from it just points in one direction. That's what a bullet lantern is. Is gonna point it towards where you're at, which is away from the rope, and it's like that drunk acrobat is intruding. Get her.
As soon as I see the light on me, I freeze. And I go quiet.
That drunk acrobat's trying to get in the gold district. Get her.
Ah! And then I slide back down outside of the gold district.
All right. I will say that was distracting enough for Ben to get back to the rope and then quickly escape.
And I tear ass like off to the east or whatever, like away from the rope so that they don't go that direction.
Okay.
Oh, you're having the time of your life with this, yeah.
Good news, it's going to be hard for them to catch up to you because they have to find an exit. You're not near one. So
I'm like throwing garbage cans as I go and like
I want to make a joke like 10 minutes later.
boxes.
I'm just going to make a joke like 10 minutes later. Like, why is everyone's trash on the ground? You got such good distance on them that they don't know that you're doing that, basically. I'm joking.
There's a vagabond and also raccoons.
All right. So yeah, Ven and Gary have been reunited. You're out of the gold
Feels so
district.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it hard for you all to kind of disappear away because of the fence being in the way. It's hard for them to kind of like catch up. Even the guards on the outside won't know what's going on until it's too late. So give it like maybe an hour and you'll be back at. Well, I'm presuming you're going to go back to Dolly's. Otherwise, you can tell me otherwise. That's fine. But
Yeah.
Makes
I mean,
sense to me.
unless Susie Ann meets a hunk on the way back from her wild run.
it's like 2:30 in the morning. Probably not.
She's not actually drunk, so she's not going to just take Toothless McGee.
I'm not drunk, just prowling.
Yeah.
All right.
Van, you're alive. I did my best to draw attention.
No, you did really good. I don't know what would have happened otherwise on account of I was not being very good at hiding. I don't know how they heard me because I wasn't moving. And they said, there's someone moving over there, but it wasn't me. So I don't know what was happening there. There may have been a second person, but it was still not great. So I did appreciate that.
You think there might have been someone else over there?
Probably not, but I don't know what did occur. Um, I saw them bringing in something. Did I get a good look at what they were carrying, or was it in a box or a chest or something?
It was in a box. You couldn't tell me anything beyond
Okay.
that. Also, the distance and the perception didn't give you a lot
Yeah.
of information beyond that.
They were bringing something in. There were more paladins inside. It looked a little bit like the paladins inside were a little bit higher up in rank, but that's reasonable because they don't need to be on the outside of the fence, right? But I wish I learned more, but I did not want to get caught, and I felt like that was kind of the number one.
Yeah, I feel like that's good priority.
Good
Now we know when to go back. Yeah.
So should we stay another night and try to do it again, or should we get on to Granite Town?
We can, but otherwise we can go to Granite Town because we've been invited to come back here afterwards as well. And we know that Dolly's got a spot. And also, I feel like for the next 2 or 3 days, they're probably going to be a little bit more vigilant on account of what we did today.
All right. Well, let's roll back into the house and make a drunken spectacle of ourselves. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Way ahead of you.
Classic
kind of
4
bang
a.m. drunken
into the-
spectacle.
I'll bang into the garbage can out front of our brownstone or whatever, and if the neighbors come to the window, I'll wave like all goofy.
That- Exactly what
Like
they're
you're having
gonna
a great
do when
time.
you just make noises and pretend to be drunk. You just seem a little less drunk.
Sorry.
I am so sorry.
Sorry. Proceed.
I just like push you both inside like I'm the DD.
Yeah.
My joke was gonna be, but I was like, I keep focusing on Gary without meaning to. It was like sorry. Gary's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
having to babysit these drunks.
Just having a good time.
I chose this
Good.
life.
Good job, everyone. I think we fooled them.
all right.
I think we got one.
We'll go ahead and skip a few hours. 6 a.m. train ride to Granite Town. Unless anyone, just in case, they don't want to do anything else. Okay. So
Oh,
as
I was going to say we should have a mule and a cart for our supplies.
did I say that was
How far
What?
away is Granite Town?
Well, we're
Did I
taking
get
a
it?
train, aren't we?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. I love a train.
We can take a mule and a cart to the train.
Yeah.
Little Uber. That's nice.
It's like taking an Uber to the taxi company, you know.
Yeah. We're splurging for a little
You guys have
luxury.
never taken an Uber to the airport. Leave me alone.
Yeah, we got mule money.
Uh,
Come on now.
in fairness, I am incredibly cheap. No, I've not paid for an Uber to go to the airport. I will just like, hey, can you take me, please?
That's fair.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten an Uber to the airport. I took an Uber to the train to get to the airport last month, and the guy said, I'll take you to the airport for the same amount of money. And I said, that sounds like something that gets me murdered, but I didn't say that out loud. And also, it would have taken longer than just taking the train, so I didn't do it. But that's how you get murdered, fans.
Yeah, it sounds that way. Yeah.
Yeah, Tess,
Hey,
please don't get
do you
murdered.
want me to do you want me to give you a 30-minute ride in my car with no one knowing where you are? I'm a stranger.
No,
No, I'm not going to do
no,
that actually. Very kind. No.
absolutely not. That's a good way to get murdered, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway, so we'll take the train.
it's gonna take about 3 days by train, changing stations and all that. As you proceed, correct me if I'm wrong, Granite Town was probably, I'm assuming, in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
As you proceed towards the base of the mountain, after about 3 days, it's only maybe a couple hours from Granite Town. Gary is going to have a bit of a flashback.
Okay.
So we're going to shift focus here. The scenery looks very familiar because this was what it looked like, maybe with less advanced train work, as it was when he was a kid. So as we're going to go into your background, if there's anything that I say that you do not want to be canon to the background of the character, it's okay. Just tell me. So we're going to shift to young Gary. We'll say around 8-ish. For reference, everyone, when I say general ages, even though species in D&D have different lifespans, I'm talking around 8 for whatever
The
that
vibe.
species is. Yeah. Well, 8 for whatever that species is, 30 for whatever that species is, middle age, so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
not literally, like I don't know the lifespan of a Goliath, but if I say 8, I mean around the equivalent of an 8-year-old for a Goliath.
I'm
Anyway.
young.
Exactly. It has been about a month since you had to leave your home with your younger brother. I had set it up. Feel free to change it. That you had to leave after your parents forced you to leave after during the early parts of a bandit attack. They told you to go to your uncle in Granite Town, because their place was being attacked by bandits.
Okay.
If that's not what you
No,
want,
that sounds fine.
okay. You and your younger brother Barry, went. His name is Berold, but much like you, his parents went with the RY.
Well, actually, hang on. If his name is Barry, it's short for barracks.
There we go. Barracks. Actually,
Barracks and garrison.
Yeah.
let me pull up your character real
That's
quick.
cute.
Yeah.
Dad was into military history.
Yeah. And they're also just they're a couple stocky guys,
Yeah.
Manly men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you born with the mustache or was that later?
I have to assume it was later.
Okay.
I don't know though. I don't remember.
Probably as a toddler, yeah.
Yeah.
Only mustache having baby I know is that Addams Family baby.
Pubert, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
Pubert.
Pubert.
Mhm.
So, oh wait, I gotta put a nickname on there so I don't screw up
It's
in
an
the future.
Adams.
Okay, there you go. So you, Barracks Gygax, because Gary's last name is also Gygax.
I've never revealed that on the show. That was going to be a big reveal.
Fuck! Shit! Everyone
It's okay.
forget that.
Nobody heard that.
Everyone
Okay.
forget that.
Roll it back.
Yes, I named my character Gary Gygax, okay?
I am so sorry, Az. I completely
it's okay.
forgot.
It's all right.
That was a conversation from like a year ago, and I completely forgot about it.
All good.
I fully didn't know if that was public knowledge or not.
No, it wasn't. I just remember that too. I just
And now it's not either because we're cutting it and no one heard
Yep.
it.
The edited version. I'm removing all of that part. Anyway, so yeah, you and Barry have been on the road for about a month now. You're hungry and tired and thirsty. You haven't seen your parents in a while, and they, like I said, they told you to go to Granite Town to find your uncle. I'm not going to name him Jerry because that feels like that is lazy. Let me.
We already have a Jerry.
You already have a Jerry, and there are too many RYs in this family so far.
Uncle Phalanx.
Phalanx. Okay.
Armory. Magazine. Powder.
Okay.
Howitzer.
Wait, Uncle Powder Keg kind of has a ring to it that I really like.
How about just Powder Keg? How about this? Phalanx is his actual name. Nickname is Powder Keg.
I was just about to say the nickname is just
Powder Keg Phalanx is such a great name. Like that's awesome. He
That's my sister's name.
I feel like that's your sister's name.
Mia's Tess, not Mia's Ben. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's a Metal Gear Solid villain, so it makes sense.
I also am gonna say I feel like somebody with the name Powder Keg would also talk like Stinky Pete, but I'm not gonna hold you to that.
That's 100% accurate.
Do you really want me to try my really bad Stinky Pete?
You don't have to.
More than anything.
Listen, Powder Keg is your character.
Okay.
You can do what you want with him.
You play Powder Keg however you deem necessary.
After about a month, you'll make it to Granite Town. Your younger brother. He's probably, let's say he's 5 in this current time, right? He's tired, he's hungry, and you eventually make it to Granite Town, which is not a particularly nice city. You can tell that even from here that the poverty levels are pretty high. This is a mining town. That's its main export, but beyond that, there's not a lot of commerce besides things to support the mining. And you eventually you were told to go to a bar. I'm not going to name it, not relevant to the plot right now. And in there, you are going to see what can only be described as what your mom would call your uncle, right? He is a big, like 8'5" tall man surrounded by a bunch of other people. They're all armed to the teeth. And you recognize that he's your uncle based off the stories that he has told, that your parents have told you. They did hand you like a family necklace to identify. So we're gonna go ahead and we have set the scene. You're currently at this bar, and you see your uncle as was described to you. What is young Gary doing with Barry at hand?
You said he's like surrounded by armed people?
Yes, everyone there is armed.
Okay. Are they like guarding him, or are they like taking him in? Like what is the scene here?
They are guarding him. It's like an entourage, if you will.
Okay. I don't think young Gary knows what an entourage is, so I think he's just gonna like try and run up to his uncle.
I say, do you just walk straight? Do you say anything, or do you just walk straight to him?
Excuse me, Uncle Powder Keg.
Prentice has
Touche.
demanded I do a Stinky Pete impression, so
I was just about to tell you that, yeah, Greenwich has
Yeah.
demanded.
Hold on. What tarnation is going on here? Sorry, I can't do Stinky Pete.
No,
I'll
that was
try it.
perfect.
That's
That was
perfect.
That was
good. That was
perfect. That was
good. I
great.
liked it. I liked it.
One of his guards is gonna like stop you, a couple feet from him. I don't. Who are you calling Uncle Powder Keg? My name is my name is Powder Keg Phalanx. You address me as such, young man.
Well, I'm I'm nephew Garrison, and there's nephew Barracks over there.
Garrett.
I
What?
I'm doing Stinky Pete now. Like I hear it happening, and like I'm
No, I'm Stinky Pete.
No, I'm
I
Stinky
see. I'm like
Pete.
trying to do like a high pitched like child's voice, but then it's just becoming
Baby
Stinky
Stinky Pete.
It's me, Garrison.
Oh
he's,
no,
he's
no, please
8.
don't.
He's not like that.
But
What if he's just like, it's me, Garrison?
Yeah, it's me, Garrison, 8-year-old boy.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. Honestly, less confusing.
I'm the young child Garrett, your nephew Garrison.
I'm 8 years old, 8.5.
I'm 3/4 years old.
Well, his voice dropped when he was 7, so this
Yeah.
tracks.
I've gone
Famously.
through Goliath puberty.
But no, it's gonna be what? Gary, hold on there. Just gonna drink some water. Sorry, I had something in my throat. I drop in the bit because I'm allowed to now. What do you mean? See if I can get this really deep. Hold on. Here we go.
You got this.
What do you mean, Garrison?
I mean, I'm your nephew, Garrison. I'm here with Barracks.
Barracks is gonna wave at Powder Keg.
Can he be like playing a pinball machine in the back of this bar?
Oh, Barry? Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I just like picture like we walk in and I like gave him a nickel and I was like, go have fun.
Oh, yeah, I gotta talk to our uncle.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll be. Now you have to understand my. Hold on, I got to also throw in a bit of like how Gary speaks. Otherwise, that way it seems more familial. No, so you got to understand my trepidation from trusting you. You do understand that. I mean, it's not uncommon someone would just come up and say, "I'm family," and they want something from someone powerful like me.
Gary's digging through his pocket and then just like holds up the necklace while he's saying that.
I see. How long you been on the road, son?
A bit.
A bit.
Mom and Dad sent us this away because of some bandits done went and attacked our home. So that's a real humdinger of a thing.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I'll watch my language.
No, you're fine. I'm not sure, Mom. I ain't so prudish. You can say the word humdinger. All right. He's just gonna like, he was sitting in a booth basically. He's gonna get up and then get. I mean, he's still subsequently taller than you, but about equivalent to like when an adult gets to about eye level with the child, right? So he's gonna kneel down.
Mhm.
I think that I'm gonna be taking care of you for a while, Gary. I'm gonna
Well,
call
it
you.
sure seems that way.
How about I call you Gary from now on?
Everybody does.
Sounds good.
Wait, actually, I like it better that that's where he got Gary. I'm changing it.
Okay.
Sure thing. Call me Gary.
All
That
right, Gary.
sounds nice.
Easier to say for sure.
Nothing wrong with Garrison, but I figured it. Gary feels like it fits your personality so far.
It's almost like it's been there the whole time.
The whole time, yeah. He's gonna ruffle your hair. All right, you can live with me. How old are you, Gary?
I'm 8 Goliath years old. The equivalent of that.
All right. I'm gonna send you off to school. You can stay with me. But when you're in about 2 years, you're going to be working for me. I won't raise an idiot, so you're still going to have proper education, but I'm going to raise you in the family business. Well, now it's the family business. Originally, it was just my business, but I guess.
But now there's a family here to
Yeah,
make it
now
a
there's
business.
a family. Yeah, you and Barry.
Hmm. Oh, I love it. Hey, what's that business? Are we minors? Well, I'm a minor, obviously, but you know what I mean. Like the town does it.
We are forcible acquisitions. Oh, you wouldn't know what that means.
No.
Uh, it. How about we go home and I explain the complexities of my job with less prying ears?
Oh, Uncle Powder Keg, are you the bad guy?
No, 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 no. Well, kind of.
How can a man named Powder Keg ever do anything shady?
Yeah, this is. I'm joking. This is out of character. It's like, no, I wouldn't. My name is Patrick. I would never do anything shady. Now, obscure McGee over there, that guy, do not trust him.
Now, questionable Murphy in the corner,
Yeah.
that's a separate thing.
Johnny Crime over there.
Over there with Tommy Two Knives.
Well, ironically, Johnny Crime actually is running for mayor and has never done anything untoward.
Yeah, he's just a friend of mine. Crab is a family name.
Yeah, he comes from the crime family, but himself he does not.
Very, very clean knows that one.
Now
Anyway,
you may find it hard to believe, but Charlie Charity down the street, whoo!
the worst. Absolutely. I only use
Jail
him.
him.
I only use him when I have to use like the worst jobs, like no moral person is willing to do. But no, it's like let's get home and I'll explain some of how my business works, and then yeah, let's go.
Okay.
We're gonna skip just a few years.
Can we get McDonald's? I'm a
Uh,
child.
We cannot because of copyright reasons, but I can take you to what we consider the second best, and that's Fantasy Burger King. Let's go.
Dick Donalds?
Dick Bottles.
Yeah, Burger King.
Brenda's. It's like Wendy's, but it's not.
What about Dick Donalds? That sounds better than Dick Monalds.
We're gonna.
We'll
Look,
go to
we're going to Burger Monarchs, and that's final.
Yeah, you know what? That works. We're going to. Yeah, we're gonna go to Burger Monarchs. I can get you a Whooper.
oh
Good old Whopper.
oh oh Whooper.
Whopper.
That got me really good.
I'll be honest, your reaction that was funnier than the actual joke to me.
Whoopee! Oh
Yeah.
Whooper. I hope it evolves into a Quagsire. That's a Pokemon joke.
That's a Pokemon joke. Yeah.
Boom.
Watch the Dexcast or listen to the Dexcast on all your popcorn.
Yeah. Freaking
All right.
layup right there.
Well, we're gonna skip a few years. You've been explained the basics of it. You're about 10, and you've lived with your uncle for about 2 years now, right?
Yeah.
Is like this is where he starts ingratiating you. He has you meet at one of his locations. I'm joking about the name. It is the perfectly legitimate business headquarters. No, it's gonna say like Mineral Acquisitions is the name of the company.
Okay.
So you go there and you're standing in a room full of a variety of people, but primarily your fellow how did I forget the name of your species? Holy crap, what is that with me today?
Goliath.
Goliath, thank you. Primarily other Goliaths. And your uncle's sitting at the head of the table. And then he's gonna look at you. He's like, all right, nephew. It's time I raise you in the family business. These men will be working with you. They'll be teaching in and outs. You're gonna start off at the bottom like a lot of people do. Um, right now, I'm gonna put you under the charge of derelict here. Um, derelict is actually one of my lieutenants of a lieutenant situation, but I figured this is a good learning opportunity for both of you. Um, if you have any questions, reach out. I'm gonna let you deal with him going forward.
Was that said to Daryl?
No, he looked at you like you can deal with him going forward.
Oh, okay. So it's like a derelict, this kind of unruly situation is what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a bit of context, because it has been a few months, derelict is the paladin they had met outside the mine, leading into the well of memories.
Yeah.
A few episodes ago. It's like, all right, I forgot the voice I used, but I'll just make up one. All right, kid. Are you ready for? I'm gonna give you the rest of the day off, but tomorrow we're hitting the streets, and be ready for everything. Bring a weapon of your choice. I got a sword. I got a morning star. I've got an axe. Choose your weapon.
I think a sword sounds great. I'm just kidding.
I'm not trying to do a solo situation where I explain every little thing for reference.
Yeah. Hey, what the fuck is a morning star?
It's like a mace, but with pointy things.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
All right, I'll bring little criminal's first mace. He's gonna hold up the box as little criminal's first mace.
Nice.
Ages 6 to 10.
So ages 6 to 10, yeah.
Ages 6 to 66.
There you go.
Heyo.
Later in the day, we're gonna skip a few days. You've done some shakedowns, and you have met Daryl's boss, who is below your uncle. Let me pull up a name here. I don't actually have a name for him yet. There we go. No, that doesn't make sense in the context of the. There we go. I got it. His boss, Blaster Cap Greg.
Good man.
It's been a long day. You're a bit tired, and the first thing you do when you get home, the first thing that happens when you get home is your younger brother going, Gary, check out what I can do. He's gonna like grab a quarter and like do this, and then you can, if you want, you can go ahead and do a perception check to what's about to happen. But once he does this, he opens his head again, and it's gone.
I thought it was going to be a weird lighter trick. This is much better.
Because this is the exact thing that I was doing in the bar where
Go to the flashback soon.
Yeah, let me do a perception check. Oh, that's an 8.
It looked legit. Like,
That's
holy
magic,
shit,
dude.
Barry!
yeah,
What the fuck? That's illegal. You can't do that.
But Gary, watch this. He just gonna turn his hand around and shows the coin. It's right. It was right there the whole time.
Thank God. Oh my God, Barry. Who have you shown this to? You can't be doing this.
It's not real magic. It's fake magic.
Fake magic?
Yeah, it's meant to look real, but it's not. It's like lying, but cooler.
Holy shit.
That seems like a good grift, Barry.
I learned it from what they call him, a magician, Josh Seraphim. Josh Seraphim, that was his name.
Okay.
Yeah, he says, "Can you teach me how to do it?"
It took me a second. Okay, all right.
He says he's going to teach me how to do this kind of thing.
I think you had me fooled. I think that you could be good at this.
Yes,
Take it on the road.
I can take this on the road.
Take it on the road.
Yeah.
I feel like I just heard somebody say that, and it's true.
Sorry.
I mean,
No,
I was
it's
just
okay.
I was
It's okay. No.
I was just echoing what they said.
I heard my future friend say that.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and skip back to the present, right?
Yeah.
Uh, you will arrive outside of the settlement that is maybe like 20, 30 minutes from Granite Town. All right.
hmm
Um,
Even at this point, Gary's like hood up, like trying to
Yep.
conceal as much of himself as possible.
right. Uh, as you proceed, this town I would say it has expanded since you've been here, but does not look like it's in good shape.
Hmm.
It's a very bad situation. You could tell there's like extreme poverty running through here. In contrast to the capital, which had like cobblestone streets, this because of this area and the amount of rain it would get, it's very muddy and rocky. It's not really a road; it's just a general path, basically. Um, a lot of people are avoiding eye contact with you as you come off the train and walk through the town.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly
Uh,
what we want.
It's
uh,
killing Susie because she wants to be the center of attention, and instead she's just having
Well,
to be
I
all
was just
proud,
thinking
dowdy,
we
frumpy.
could potentially walk 10, 15 feet ahead and take all the attention so they don't pay attention to him.
Gary
I
would
don't know.
appreciate that.
I don't know if that'll help. Like they'll see us together eventually, right?
I think that, you know, and Dean, feel free to hop in and say if I'm incorrect or anything, but like I feel like in a town like this, if you two are newcomers attracting a lot of attention, and then
A
people look around and
third
see about
person.
15 feet behind you a hooded figure
Uncle Life.
kind of
Yeah.
following you, people will be like, okay, so they're spoken for already. Um,
Hmm.
they're going to get
Yeah,
robbed already.
there's a faceless Goliath that is that is just on the edge of the frame. I don't know how much attention they'd put on that Goliath.
Yeah. But also
Okay.
like it kind of takes attention off of you in a way that it looks like you're already like going to die.
Yeah,
Like
nobody's
somebody
gonna
is
bother
stalking
us
you.
because they're like, oh, well, their number's already up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm like,
Okay, whatever works.
she's got a lot going on in her head as she tries to look at people and not look at people and like look tough but not too tough. Like it's a balancing act.
he feels
Mhm.
really
Yeah, they're probably
conflicted
used to that.
All right. Uh, as you are walking here, someone say, "Hey, are you new to town?"
Just visiting.
Which is, I could tell because you ain't covered in shit. So I'm presuming you're new to town.
Yeah, I mean, soon enough, we probably will be covered in shit. No offense to your lovely town. That's just, how things go.
Oh, this town ain't lovely. That's fine.
Okay,
You don't
I
have
was
to.
being polite, but
Nah,
that's fair.
I appreciate the decorum, but this town has come across hard times.
Yeah, we just stopped in. Yeah.
Where you heading? You see like you see some skepticism in his face.
Okay, so we came from one direction. Is there a town that I know in the direction that the train that we just got off was heading to?
So you want to know where the train will be heading to, but from where you
I don't even need to know it's like absolute, but at just any town I can think of farther along the tracks.
yeah, the Terrytown.
Yep. So we're just stopping in before we get back on the train to hit Terrytown.
All right. You staying here? Why? Why would you stay here?
Yeah, it gets a little wild getting cooped up for that long.
Can I
I
Gotta
will
take some
whisper.
time,
Hold
breathe some
on.
air. Mm-hmm.
I want to whisper to Ven. I'll be like, "Why is this guy asking us so many questions?"
I don't fucking know, but I feel like it would probably be worse to not answer them, right?
can I do an investigation on this guy from afar? I'll take like a disadvantage if I need to.
No, I would. Are you traveling with them proper, or are you staying behind?
I'm keeping my distance from them, but I'm also wary of anyone that is like coming up and talking to them.
So here's because I didn't describe the situation on that front, which is on me. Uh, you're at a distance, but you can still come across this scenario because it's a person sitting on a chair on not the porch, but like in the front of a building, basically.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you can go and do your investigation. It is not with disadvantage.
All right.
Yeah, because you're
Well,
far away, but you've got as much time as you want to look at him.
that's true. Yeah. Not the best. It's a 15.
With your investigation, you could tell that he's very wary and skeptical. Seems to be of strangers in general, based off of that. So it's not like specifically those two. It's
Okay.
general skepticism.
Can I don't know what I would like roll for this or anything, or if I could just do it. I kind of want to like turn towards him a little bit and try and like catch his eye from the back.
What is your intention?
To kind of signify in some way, shape, or form, like let them move on. They're with me,
Give me
or like they're mine, or something like that.
So given
They're supposed
the
to-
reaction, unless you want to argue otherwise, it seems like a form of intimidation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So go ahead and give me an intimidation roll, which I do believe Gary is pretty proficient.
Yes, I got +3 to that, so that's a 13 + 3, 16.
Is this see like just talking to them, looks over to you for a second, sees you look at him, he's just gonna get up and just kind of like walk into the building. It's like yeah. He just diverts away basically.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear the sound of what's like the door locking.
I'd go
Cool.
to adjust something on my back and give a very discreet thumbs up.
Oh yeah, thanks, buddy.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
pretend not to
to
notice.
I pretend to help Ven mess with their backpack or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, we'll continue on.
And I am, while I'm doing that, I'm taking the measure of the area security wise. Can I do like a perception?
It can. I will say it's not super necessary right now.
Okay.
I'll just say it. It's not like
Head on a swivel.
yeah. It's the town is such bad array that like even thieving is not really beneficial on a small level. So, as you proceed forward, it's about 20 minutes. You will see cresting over the hill. Well, you're in a mountain range, but cresting over the hill, if you will, the familiar signs of the walls surrounding Granite Town. The normally bustling rail system that runs through it, on the edges of some parts of the wall, are quiet. Normally, this be going 24/7, right? You would see train cars going in and out, in and out, in and out. Nothing. And I'm telling this from Gary's perspective, by the way.
Yeah.
Normally there'd be guards posted at the front. Nothing. The sounds of city, like if I will say this, Gary gave me a perception check because
Okay.
only you may notice this having lived here.
14.
Has Gary ever worked this mine before? Or any part of the process?
I don't think that. I mean, Dean, you can feel free to say otherwise, but I don't think that Gary has worked in the mines, but I think that Gary has worked in the mines, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I think that he's probably had to go in there a couple times, but
I would say that the Wayward Vagabonds was probably his first legitimate job.
yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. This is your background, but
No, I that sounds right to me. I think that he probably wanted to clean up his act and get lost.
so
So
like
Gary's gone into the mines with a Morning Star, but not with an axe.
yeah.
Pickaxe. Yeah.
Mhm.
With your 14, only you would recognize this because you lived here. The sound normally you would hear the sounds of a city, right? Movement of things, the movement of carts and horses. Yeah, the talking of people.
Exactly.
It's quiet.
Yeah.
It's quiet. You don't hear the sounds of a city, basically.
Okay.
Most
What
people would,
the fuck?
yeah.
How close
Sir.
are we to the front gate?
I was gonna give you like 60 feet. You know, if you want to change it up, that's fine. I was just
Okay.
kind of giving you enough to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this has put Gary on edge a little bit, the fact that there's no noise whatsoever. So he's gonna kind of catch up to the other two and be like, maybe we should swap positions here for just a moment because I don't like what I'm not hearing.
And I'll be like, no, sir, I don't know what's going on. Why don't you take a look? And pretend to gesture you forward.
Sure thing. And Gary's gonna approach the wall, the
Okay.
entrance.
As you approach the entrance, what is normally a I'm just gonna say wood because stone fencing is very impractical for this kind of place.
Mhm.
A wooden gate, if you will.
Yeah.
At the front. You will not find any sign of recent movement here. So no like recent footsteps, no like, sometimes guards will like snack on break or whatever. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Like someone hasn't been here in a while from what you can
Is
tell.
the gate unlocked?
As you try and move the gate open, it does appear to be locked. But not like
Okay.
locked with the lock. Like when you push the door, it's not moving.
Okay. Gary pulls the hood down over his eyes and knocks.
You will not get a response.
Okay. Well, shit, guys, I don't know. Should we just like bust in? I don't know. Probably
How
not.
tall's how
I
tall is
don't
the
like
gate?
this at all.
Yeah.
Why don't we do a perimeter sweep? Get some high ground.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're gonna walk.
So let's circle up closer to the mine and or the railroad track or
Yeah.
whatever, and then see if we can get
Oh.
to elevation.
I would also assume that we could probably get in via the mine because Gary probably knows his way around.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good way of putting it.
Okay.
So we'll fast track a little. You can find one of the mine entrances that's outside of the town. It's mostly just like an encampment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would say that while things have changed since you've been gone, you can kind of get the general lay of the land enough to use that to get in the city. Especially since I'm not a miner. If someone in our audience wants to correct me, feel free to do so. Normally there'd be some indication of where you're going, so you're not getting lost in a mine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And Dean, I do just want to remind you that we can't have anybody who works in this area be in any kind of like danger or anything because we do have a rule against having miners in peril.
I'm gonna clip that.
Oh,
I hated it. But
full
it was
silence. 10 seconds of full silence.
So, are there lanterns lit? Are there like ropes to like tell us which way to go? Has it been abandoned for weeks? What's the vibe?
It is abandoned. There are no lights. I do believe that all of you have dark vision, though. Correct? No, wait. hold on.
No, Gary doesn't. We just hold hands.
Oh yeah, I
That's
don't.
right.
Yeah,
But I mean,
that's really funny because I know my way through the mine, but you two don't.
You're just like somewhere around here. There should be a
I'm like, we
left
gotta make a
turn, and I'm
lift,
like,
and
yeah,
you're like,
it's
that's a wall.
it's
We got
certainly
a
maybe
torch.
somewhere.
Torch or a lantern.
I mean, you could probably find a lantern and get it going.
That's a very
fine.
unkind thing to do to a lantern.
Torch a lantern.
Torch a lantern.
Torture a lantern.
Oh,
Torture a lantern. Yeah.
got it. Okay,
Give me your
I'm with
secrets.
you now.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna light it.
Torture a lantern.
I'm gonna light it.
Anyway,
give me your secrets.
That's a real super salad kind of joke. What's a super salad?
I'll
Yeah,
take the
you can definitely find like a lantern or whatever and be able to make it through there. As you
Okay,
come across the main entrance into the town from the aspect of the mine, you will actually. I'm going to make the DC low because you do have a light source now. Give me a perception check, literally anybody. Doesn't matter. Anyone and anyone who wants to.
13.
16.
Oh, I dropped my die. I got an 18 plus
Oh,
6,
damn.
5. 23.
Okay. So as you are walking up to it, shining in the light of the lantern, you actually see what looks like to be a semi-translucent wall. To you, okay, I'm describing it as a semi-translucent wall. Well, it looks like it's golden in nature, or basically it's a barrier. Sorry, I wanted to paint a picture, but I was like, maybe I won't explain it. So, it seems to be like a golden barrier on
Okay.
the
Is,
entrance,
is it
and
shimmering or opaque?
it is opaque. Like you can still, it's like semi-opaque. You can still kind of see on the other side,
okay.
but yeah,
It's not like a sheet of gold.
no, it's
It's like, is I
Gold
guess I
bullshit.
could roll like an Arcana check or something. Is it magical in nature?
uh, give anyone who wants to can do an Arcana or a religion roll.
Let's
I will
see.
assist by flinging a pebble at it.
I will resolve yours quickly. It will bounce off.
I got
So
a
does that give him
15
advantage?
Arcana.
I got a 7, so that's not really helpful.
I got a
Uh,
15.
With the 15, you could definitely. I mean, you're not an expert in magic, but from everything you hear, this looks magical. This is something magical that's happening here.
Okay.
Do you think that sword could have done this?
I thought you were referring to the sword that I almost picked in the backstory for a second. I was like, the one from my
there's
childhood?
There's a missing shield, right? And then there's also
Yeah.
a stolen sword.
Mm-hmm. This seems more like a shield kind of a thing to me, if you ask me, but it's probably one or the other.
Who needs a shield big enough for a whole town?
A god.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna try and hit this thing, see if we can get through it.
Yep.
Good idea.
I was
I'll
trying to
stand
think if
back
there's
about 20
anything I
feet.
could do, but all I can do is kind of detect or protect. So
Hmm.
As you hit it with your Morning Star, give me a let's say reflex. Give me a reflex save.
Dex save, you said?
Reflex. Dex. Yeah, sorry.
Dex, okay.
My brain still
as you're
goes.
swinging, my mind is like, probably should have blessed him.
Hmm. I got
Damn
a
you, hindsight.
I got a 12 there.
Okay. As you make contact with it, you manage not to hold. You manage to let go in time as the Morning Star gets sucked onto the other side.
Oh,
So it phased through?
It phased through and landed on the other side. You can still see it.
Like it
We got-
stole his weapon from him?
Like it's like a vacuum just went on and then landed. You couldn't hear it land, but you could see it land.
not like an anti-Oobleck situation.
Okay.
I'm going to fold like a little paper airplane or swan or something, but make it kind of loosely folded so it's got some structure and air to it. And then I want to throw it at or try to shove it into the wall.
Okay, using Susie Ann's origami skills, they make one of her lesser known skills. And moves it through the barrier.
Can you roll an origami check, actually?
Yeah, roll me a origami.
Yeah.
I feel like you pull this out at the tavern when you're trying to impress a man pretty often.
I made a
I
flower.
rolled
Do
a
you like it?
17. I don't know if I have any bonuses to origami.
You've got a
I think
+7 to
that you
origami.
add your intelligence to that, right,
Yeah.
Dean?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
18.
Yeah.
18. So is it destroyed by the fence or does it go through just like the Morning Star did?
Or does it bounce off?
The question I have for you is, how willing is Susie to hold this?
I'm just trying to shove it through to see if it crumples or if it goes through safely.
Yeah, I think my question, because it much like the Morning Star, it's gonna suck it in. Are you just gonna let it go, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay. It does not crumple. It just slides on through and then slowly falls to the ground.
Okay, perfect. So it's looks like it's safe for us to go through if we want to.
What?
Gary's gonna stick his head through it.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that's gonna work, but I kind of figured that was the next round of yeah.
This is Data in Star Trek just touching random shit.
Yep.
I gotta stick my head
Fuck it.
into a magical object at least once.
At least once every few episodes because
Yeah.
no,
I
you
did it
didn't
in the
pick your-
pond already. Yeah, you're right.
The pod, the vortex, this thing.
the fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
okay.
I need to roll anything? Do I need to roll an unarmed strike with my head?
Are you trying to go in or are you trying to stay out? That's my question for
I'm
you.
trying to go in.
Okay.
This is
You
a
don't have to roll
nightmare.
anything. It's like you're like put your face against it and it just kind of yields and you're like into it. I hate that noise, but that's the best way to explain it. You're in it now. You're on
The
the other
perfect noise
side.
for it.
All right, cool. I pick up my morning star. I don't want to forget that.
Good.
Okay,
Gary,
I'll
can you
be
hear
like,
us?
try to send it back through, and I'll point at the Morning Star. Send it
Gary-
back through.
Gary, you can't hear anything they're saying. Not even that.
I point at the Morning Star and I like do this, and then I kind of pretend to shove it through, and I keep like I'm trying to get you to shove your Morning Star back out.
Gary
She's
kind
like,
of
do you have
goes
another sheet of paper?
and then starts like making like a jerking off motion. No, I'm kidding. Yeah,
Susie laughs.
I'll stick the morning star back through.
As you try to stick it on through, it's like touching a wall with your morning star. It will not go through.
Gary's face goes pale white.
Oh no. Can we see any other exits in there?
From here,
I want
no.
to tie a rope to a wall, like a hook or pipe or something,
Like a hooker.
and then
Thank you.
Hooker.
I couldn't do this
Hooker,
after the torture lantern.
Hooker, I
And
hardly
I-
know her.
I tie the
Ayo.
other end to a pickaxe and I wing it through, so that there's rope on either side.
Question: you say you tied one end of the rope to the mine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we're about to die in a mine collapse.
The pickaxe is going to go through. The rope will be taut on your end, but it will just fall and lay down on the other end. It's
Sweet.
slack. It's got slack.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
point to the rope, and Gary, I'll motion like get
Yeah.
yanking.
And now he'll do the jacking off motion. Sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah. So Gary grabs a hold of the pickaxe.
All right.
Let me make sure I'm on the camera there.
Give me there you go. Give me a strength check, Jeff.
I was so ready to click that button. I have +4 in strength.
13.
As you pull, it takes a few minutes, but eventually the rope snaps.
Oh shit.
Shit.
That's not good.
And when you look at it, it wouldn't be described as clean, but you could tell that it is frayed at the very tip.
And then Gary, if you pull it, does the ripped off part come through?
Gary can't hear you.
Gary
No,
pulls
I know, I
on the
just-
rope.
It will pop out back on your side and look the same as it is on theirs. It's afraid on the end of the rope.
So I'll hunker down and show it to Ven, and I'll be like, it's almost like
What's it afraid of?
millions
Gary's
of
afraid
little
too, yeah.
hands are like pulling it apart. There's no way we could stay in there and
Gary-
get out.
Gary kind of goes up against the wall and just kind of shows the frayed end of the rope.
We've got pen and paper. I'll probably write a note. I don't know what
I
I want
was
to tell you because right now
literally-
I figure you're probably scared and I have no information.
I was about
you
to
were
say
gonna say
like
the same thing.
what are the paper items that I have in my bag? I have the dossier on Father Mason.
I'm
Well,
I'm
you
not too
also
worried about.
have the paper airplane.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I
I'm
have
not.
Sal Nussbaum's
Otherwise, I
bill of
wouldn't have
sale.
figured. Otherwise, I wouldn't have figured we had paper. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So, friggin' one-way mirror. That's not good. We can't break it.
Dean, from
That's
our
not
side, are
good.
we able to take another channel or any way to get up higher from where Gary is?
You do not know the mine well enough to make that decision.
So
We
the
really thought this
shield
through.
is like literally abuts the end of the
It
mine.
is yes, it is. But it is literally at the threshold of the mine.
Gary draws a very detailed map of the entire area and holds it up to the I almost said the glass. The force field.
Effectively, what is the glass?
Yeah.
I'll copy it on our side to the best of my ability.
Wait,
It's probably not perfect, but
am I allowed to do that, Dean? That feels like cheating.
You can. I would like to point out that your information is also outdated.
Okay.
So
we'll take it.
Gary writes a little note at the top that says this information is outdated.
Nice.
Please be aware.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at it. I'm trying to see if there's a channel that could come back around somewhere around the town. And then I'm like, you know what? If we couldn't hear anything from outside the walls, I wouldn't be surprised if this shield goes all the way over the top and maybe even down into the dirt.
Gary, once again, cannot hear any of this. Just pointing it out.
Do
I'ma
I hear
dig.
anything now that I'm inside?
What's that?
Do I hear anything now that I'm inside?
Yes,
Because
it's
it was
not
so
the
quiet, yeah.
it's not the bustle of the city like you were used to, but you will hear movement, general movement throughout the city.
Okay.
Good man.
We're still right next to each other, right? Like just on opposite sides of this thing.
Yeah.
All right. So Gary kind of motions like throws a thumb back there and then goes boop, 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 like to signify that there's people.
Oh, so there's sound. Okay, he can hear stuff. I'm going to dig next to the field and see if it goes down into the dirt.
It does. Actually, it almost
Shit.
looks like as you're digging, it starts expanding downwards with it.
Oh, it's like perceptually transcendental.
I love
That's
that
what I was gonna
accent.
say. Yeah.
Well, shit. We're going to have to go in there and maybe never come out.
Yeah. I mean, what a lovely way to go. All right. Is it like a small room on Gary's side, or is there more mine?
You can see, admittedly, in a golden sheen because of the wall, you can see
Yeah.
buildings in the distance. So you can tell these
Oh,
outwards towards
yeah.
the city.
Oh, then absolutely, let's go. I just was kind of worried that it was a small little cavern on the other side, and then I thought maybe
Oh
we'll
yeah, what if I
die there,
was
maybe
just
we
trapped in
won't.
here?
I'd handle it.
Well,
But
okay, here's
glad
the
we don't
thing.
have to.
Jeff would probably stay outside that damn field, but Susie Ann, it's a party. She goes in.
Hmm.
All right.
Gary's family. I'm going in.
As soon as you pop up the other side, you're going to hear, like I said, not the full sounds of a city, but you're going to hear the movements of a city, if you will. As you look up towards the sky is gold. Is the best way to put it. The world outside looks gold, and it's everything around you is kind of like semi-shimmering, a dull shimmer, if you will.
And it's a shield that we came here to get, right?
Correct.
Fantastic.
Well, we're in here now.
Yeah. Oh, good. We can hear you again. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my hood back on.
I think that's probably fair. I don't know where we are or what's going on in here, but that cannot hurt.
Yeah. Hey, it probably sucks in here. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
If there's normal people here, right? And they've been trapped behind this shield for how long has the shield been missing?
Uh, you
Weeks?
you did not ask, but let's say it's part of the dossier. So it's been about 6 months.
Oh shit.
Okay, so it could be anywhere from a week to 6 months ago. This field's been up. Like, depending on how long it's been, they might be at each other's throats.
Oh,
They might be eating each other. Like, we got to be real careful. And I'll pick up my origami swan and pocket it.
For safekeeping.
Yeah. That'll come in handy later.
Look,
That's
it
actually
might.
there's gonna be like we're gonna be in an ancient temple and there's gonna be an origami crane sized hole in the wall that you just like shove that into and the door opens.
And all of a sudden, everything lights up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or one of my puzzles is you have to defeat someone in an origami contest or something.
Yeah. And now we
That's
know
for
it's
sure.
it's a D20 plus your wisdom. Or was it intelligence?
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Okay, all right. So Gary's not good at it.
This roll I totally didn't think was gonna go past.
Yeah.
That is the subtext of this show, though. Dean didn't think that was gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that you know, expected us to ask around about the giant shield first before we just decided to go inside of it.
Dean could not have possibly imagined we would ask around before messing with the shiny shield that we found.
I gave you the opportunity, but I was not going to force you to do it. That's the
You
thing.
had a guy who was like ready to tell us like backstory, and I was like, shut the fuck up. Go inside.
Yeah, you
I
gave
got
us the
nothing for you.
man. You gave us the dude 3 minutes into Texas Chainsaw, and we said no.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go. Actually,
Uh-huh.
I know about the harbinger cliche. Fuck you.
Yeah.
nope,
Yeah.
we don't need that.
I was like, I'm from here. What could possibly be different?
That's literally how every person in a horror movie dies. I'm from
Yep.
here. What could happen?
Yeah.
I came here
Okay,
as
so
a
I
kid.
will
There's no way.
I will stealth ahead and have my crossbow loaded and ready to fire if anybody attacks us.
Okay.
Can I hold an action and do stealth checks, or is it like
You have to hold a specific
One or
kind
the
of
other.
action. It's kind of it's an action to do it technically, and you have to choose the
okay?
the trigger for it to happen, basically.
So every time I come to a corner, I'll like take a round to prepare and in case somebody hears me. So it's kind of slow going,
Yeah.
and I'll get out to about 100 feet ahead of them, and if it's safe, I'll give the 2 clucks.
I guess I'll also kind of lead us in the direction of Uncle what it was Uncle Blast Powder, was that his name?
Powder keg.
Powder Keg, okay.
Powder Keg's last known location.
Yeah, or like his house where we stayed, you know?
Right.
You already drew that map, so just like put an X on it, and I'll carry it
yeah,
as
yeah.
I go.
I mean, the map was of the mines themselves. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, it was of the mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I thought we
Well,
were deeper in the mines.
Yeah.
But Dean, would I want to go to Powder Keg's place depending on how I ended up leaving?
I do want to explore that in this arc.
Okay. I guess maybe a better question is what is a known safe location that I can take us to?
There
I
we
would
go.
say that it would not be incorrect for you to know of a old, not dead drop. What's the term? Basically, a safe place for people in the coterie.
A hideout.
Safe house.
Chuck E. Cheese's.
A hideout. Yeah, you can use like a Chuck E.
Yeah.
Cheese. You can use a Chuck E. No,
A Freddy Fazbear's.
Freddy. No.
Safest
You can only
place in the
stay there
world.
for 5 nights.
Well, Buster and Dave's.
You know of an abandoned hideout from your time, like it was no longer being used because the area was kind of hot at the time.
Okay.
I'm just gonna give that to you.
Yeah, it was because Gary was there.
That's right. What's
So
up?
I'm working my way there around the outside, trying to go as stay out of anyone's way.
Mhm.
As you move to the town, you're going to notice that the streets are empty. Not that you're not seeing life, but that no one is in the streets.
Does
But we're
anyone
still
have
hearing
fires?
people?
Yeah, like you'll see like fires. You will see like the sounds of movement in people's houses. The signs of movement in people's houses. Excuse me.
What time is it? Is it like a
Wait,
wild
wait,
hour
wait.
to be out? Sorry.
This is important. Is it really smoky?
At the top, you will see smoke gathering at the very top. It's almost obscuring in here from how dark it is from the smoke.
Okay, go ahead, Tess.
Shitty shield. Oh, I was just asking if it was like a late hour for us to be out, or if this is an hour where we would usually expect to see people around. Smoke thing. Good point, though.
It's about noon.
Oh,
Okay. High noon?
High noon.
low noon.
Low noon. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, midnight.
Oh,
High noon.
high noon.
Ha!
High noon.
There's smoke everywhere. We checked.
Yeah. We're hotboxing the town.
Yeah, the whole
Yup.
town.
Look, where
Gary
there's a
takes
will,
a
there's
fat
way.
rip off his vape. He hits a
Sick.
blinker.
Oh,
Sick.
also the temp. Is it hotter inside the field than it was out?
It is noticeably warmer. Not uncomfortable, just noticeable.
And breathing,
right.
is it harder to breathe?
Air's a little thick.
Mm.
Not inhospitable, just thick.
Okay.
So I'll work my way back to you guys and I'll be like, I'm thinking the smoke from fires might be pooling in here. If you notice, it's kind of harder to breathe than normal.
Yeah, it's
Well, it
probably
looks
not
like-
a great idea to have those fires lit.
I bet you
It
we couldn't
looks
even
like
see the
everything's kinda
stars
sticking in
if
here.
it was nighttime.
Well, the stars are shining bright deep in the heart of Texas.
But we're in Granite Town, so
True.
Is Granite Town in Texas?
No,
I thought it was kind of more of a New Mexico type of place.
I figured Arizona, New Mexico, like one of the
Okay.
two.
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
Any whoozleby, let's work our way to that hideout.
Yeah.
Thank you. I couldn't find a reason to say Albuquerque with the IRK.
I'll be quirky. Sure, you can be quirky as much as you want.
Thank you so much, Dean. That's exactly what I wanted.
Perfect.
I didn't like that face I just made, so definitely like take a clip of it and like send it to me.
How are you all proceeding as you're moving to the city?
Should we form up? I was thinking about coming back and just sticking with you guys because there's nobody outside.
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
keeping the hood up, but I'm
But we
moving it
can-
along at
Yeah.
a more brisk pace considering
Yeah.
nobody's
Yeah.
here.
As you proceed forward after about 5-10 minutes roughly, you're gonna hear somebody from the back. Hey, you! We're in curfew. Get into your houses now.
Without turning around, I just wave a hand and I say, "We're going."
All right, get out of here. Don't let me tell Blaster Cap. Don't make it the. I can't speak. Don't make me tell Blaster Cap you're out.
Blaster Cap.
Yeah,
Haven't heard that name in a while.
in a while. He's been the mayor for years. What do you mean for a while?
Why are we talking to this
Yes.
guy? Keep
Well,
moving.
You're gonna hear the sound of a crossbow being the crossbow. I don't know the proper term here, but a crossbow
Being knocked.
docked. Thank you.
Gary puts a hand on his own crossbow.
How far is this person from us?
Say 30 feet.
And can I see them or are they hiding?
No, they're out in the open.
Can we get to cover before he has a chance to shoot?
If you want to use your surprise round to do so, yeah. If you want to go, if your plan is to go into combat, yes.
So it's either play it cool or fight. And there's nowhere to run here. I think we have to play it cool. I'll put my hands up and be like, easy there, partner. We ain't here for a fight. We're just trying to get back to the house.
Now, I hear you, but you talking like you don't know who the mayor is,
I know who the mayor is.
who the boss
That's
is.
my friend. He's been laid up ill for a week. Plus, I think he's been hitting what's left of our stores, if you know what I mean.
You eating up our rations, boy?
No, sir.
No, I meant like liquor. He found a
I
bottle
repeat,
back
you've been
there.
eating our rations?
No, sir. Gary has not turned around the whole time, by the way.
We'll just get on, sir.
Yeah, how about we go we take you on the blaster cap, see what he has to say. You three are suspicious.
How about we just head home?
As this
Can-
is happening, I'm casting bless on the three of us.
Oh, cool.
My back
Nice.
is to him, so he can't see any, hand movements.
I'm going to say this. You could tell he's trying to get you, like, essentially arresting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is intention. You could tell without even
Yeah,
having
how
to
it goes.
roll. He's willing to commit violence to do so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then at this point, I'm going to turn around and I would like to roll an intimidation check and once again say, how about we just head home? And I take my hood off to kind of reveal who I am. If he even knows.
All right, give me that intimidation roll.
With your +4.
Oh yeah. This is gonna be a good roll. 22.
That's a
What'd
good
you get
roll.
on the 4?
3.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good roll. As you whip around to look at the man, you could tell that he's not hiding it. He looks like a coterie member, right? I'm gonna keep saying coterie because everyone knows what I mean. Anyway, he looks like a coterie member. He's not really hiding it. It's almost brazen. As when he looks at you after you say that, you could see the recognition in his eyes. He knows who you are. He's like, "Oh shit, Gary's back," and he is going to run in the opposite direction.
Cool. I'm gonna
Not perfect, but
shoot my crossbow at him.
yeah.
Roll to hit.
Well, then so will I.
Yeah. And
I'll take
I want
everyone's
you to
bless.
know I'm picturing like at 30 paces, like I just you know?
Yeah.
That didn't show up on the camera at all because it's just my face, but
You could feel it.
roll to hit, you said? That's
roll to
gonna
hit.
be
Do we get advantage if it's from behind and he doesn't know we're planning to shoot him? Or does it, because he was intimidating, suggests that he would?
How raised are his hackles?
He's pretty
Yes.
hackled, but I wouldn't say it's enough for an advantage.
do I add the bless to the roll to hit, or is that
To the
No.
roll to hit, but not to the damage.
Yeah.
got it? Okay. That always like gets in my
Yep.
head.
No, totally fair.
13, does that hit?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so the damage on that is going to be an 8. And the shot that I am using is a disarming shot to get rid of his weapon.
Okay.
On a hit, the creature takes damage and must succeed on a strength saving throw, DC 12, or drop one held object.
Susie, what are you doing real quick before I resolve this?
I'm shooting him as well. I got a 14.
Okay, yours hit. Roll damage. As you shoot him, you manage to knock the crossbow out of his hands. He's not even gonna bother to like pick it up. He's just gonna allow it to drop to the ground and run with the bolt. But your bolt also did damage, right? Yeah, 8 points of damage in addition.
8, yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on what Susie does here.
Do I get my bonus action to do Hunter's Mark, or is this just a single action?
You'd have to declared your hunter's mark before you shot.
Okay, so yeah, I just shoot. So I 14. Does that hit?
That does hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. D10. 4 damage.
Okay.
That might be enough.
I rolled a
Between-
1.
Between the 2 bolts in his hand and one in his back, he collapses to the ground.
Cool.
Oh, good. I didn't want to have to do mine because I got 19 to hit, and I wasn't sure if that would work.
I just imagine just like,
Cool.
And
I'm
just
gonna
like,
go. I'm gonna go pick up this fool's entire body and take it with us.
all right.
Yep.
I'll pick up the crossbow.
Yeah.
It's just a human, which is a little odd in a town of Goliath, but still just a human.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you've got the crossbow and you got the body, I'm in charge of opening the doors. So let's go.
Yep.
How come we shot this guy?
He was gonna shoot us.
Well, we can't let him tell them that Gary's here. That's the
Yeah.
entire thing. Is Gary's laying low, and having somebody snitch to the fucking mayor that he's here is not laying low.
Especially this mayor.
I thought we
just
were
gonna
just
go
gonna kill
ahead.
him, honestly. So this is better than
Oh.
that.
So you got prior beef with this blasting cap guy?
You could say something of the sort. Yeah. We have a bit of history.
Well, we better hide quick.
Yeah.
Well, it's past curfew, so it's time to get on home.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I think that's a good place to end the episode.
I think so. I did a cool, 30 paces draw kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quite
Hell
pleased with how
yeah.
that turned out. I think that was maybe my first successful crossbow shot.
I don't mean this in any way to be mean. I think sometimes you forget that you're a sharpshooter in your character build.
Yeah.
All right,
It felt fucking cool to do that,
It
by
was
the way.
cool.
Fuck
It
yeah.
That was
cool,
awesome.
It was very
Pretty
cool.
much.
I need to get y'all's updated PDFs because I've got y'all at
Oh.
level 1, so I don't have any of your cool bits and bobs.
We'll get that to you.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can pause that in the group chat later.
Export to PDF.
So let's go ahead and get the opportunity. If you liked what you saw here today, I'll even link it. But feel free to follow us on Twitch if you're watching this live now, twitch.tv/omniversalescapades. Or you can follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/omniversalescapades. Please feel like, subscribe, smash like button, hit bell icon, blah, 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 blah.
Jeff, I just saw this beautiful artwork. This is amazing.
We're all Stinky Pete's.
I legit, since the last episode, when someone mentioned the concept of the Rad Hatter, I had it stuck in my head for like 3 solid days, to be honest.
I just dropped my PDF in the show chalk for you.
Oh, kick ass.
So if you like that, please do so. Follow us on our social medias at Omniversal Escapades or on Twitter, Blue Sky at Omniversal ESC. Those are the 2 you generally find us at, besides obviously YouTube. We appreciate anybody who likes and subscribes and follows us, so we appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and throw it to our players to go ahead and promote anything they're working on. I'm going to assign an arbitrary number and roll a d4. Tess.
You can find me at Tess is super cool on Twitter. Tess is on Insta. Tess is watching Twitch. Tess is whatever you're doing on whatever website you're on. I'm probably there doing that. Otherwise, if you like looking at pictures of food, you can find me at Meals from the Basement. It was just Pi Day, so a bunch of new stuff is up. And it was a couple of family members' birthdays, so I made a carrot cake decorated to look like a gator farm. Not a farm in the way that you eat it, in a way that there are 1 million gators there. But we could not buy 1 million gators from Michael's because they don't sell tubes of gators. So it's one. But it's a big one and it's good. Photo will be up soon. Anyway, thanks.
Awesome. Jeff, go ahead.
Yes, I have Shattered Worlds RPG. That's my actual play podcast set in the world of my books and my role playing game. And then I have Everything is Awesome, which is an arts and issues interview show. I have an update on there about Sophia's eco action and how her whole team, they got their court cases thrown out. So that's really interesting. And then The Great and Secret Knowledge, a speculative fiction podcast. We've got all kinds of stuff we cover over there, from Piranesi to The Wizard of Oz to the Vor game we just wrapped up. And we're going to start on Star Trek The Next Generation.
Nice.
So if you have anything you think we should cover, let me know. Find me everywhere on social media at El Jefe Tacoma.
All right. Sounds good. Az, you're up.
That's me. That's my name.
That's Az.
I'm at Cal's Calzones pretty much everywhere. Oh, you're pointing at me on the layout.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm looking at you in Zoom and you're just pointing at nothing. At Cal's Calzones everywhere. Sometimes there's an underscore. Sometimes there's not. You can figure it out. Most of the time there's not, I think. Except on Twitter and Twitch. Like I said, you can figure it out. Speaking of Twitch, I've been twitching. I've been there.
I saw you, yeah.
Yeah, every Wednesday I am playing a Soul Link with my buddy Chris Starinari. They are streaming on YouTube and I'm streaming on Twitch. We're playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, and
Nice.
a Soul Link means that we're doing a Nuzlocke, which is every Pokemon that we find, like the first Pokemon we find on every route that we enter, we have to catch that one, and if we don't catch it, we just don't get a Pokemon that route. And if they faint, they're permanently dead. And the thing about a Soul Link is if my Pokemon that I caught on Route 1 faints, Chris's also faints. So it's a real challenging game mode to play.
Hell yeah.
And I'd say we're probably about like a third of the way through the game right now. There's a lot of story to go. But yeah, Wednesday nights around 10 Eastern, I start streaming that. Krenich has been there. Krenich was hanging out. We have a good time.
Hell yeah.
It's very casual, very fun. It's a fun new thing that I've been doing. You can also check me out on the Scavengers Network YouTube and on my own personal YouTube, Cal's Calzones. Do some reviews and video essays and things of the sort. Also for the Scavengers Network, I am a part of the Biodex Cast, as mentioned earlier, which is a Pokemon biology podcast. I like Pokemon, if you haven't noticed. And then I also am a member of It Jams for Thee, one of 5 hosts there. And we put out our episode for 2025 about a month ago. And we watched Space Jam 2.
I listened to it. It was hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
Your misery at having to watch that show was palpable.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really bad movie. Yeah.
Nice.
But that's it for me.
I'm not doing anything. This is my only show and project right now because I'm busy with school. So if you want to follow me on social media, @Geekistine under basically every platform. I don't really post much. I'm taking a personal sabbatical from away from social media. So that's the best way to put it. We live in very bad times and I don't want to be around that kind of thing right now. So I'm there, but I'm also not there. So, feel free to follow. I won't guarantee I'll post. Anyway.
And email us at...
when we get that public email going.
Hotmail.
Isn't it Omniversal Escapades?
At hotmail.biz.com.
Do we actually have one?
No.
Okay.
Gov.
But I am looking, once I figure out how to work Discord's better, I do want to bring our Discord to the public for everyone to use. Right now it's used primarily for the hosts of the show and guests who have been on the show. It's its primary purpose right now, but I would like to bring it up into more general use here within the next few weeks. So keep up with that. I just got to make sure I get everything set up so that what does the hosts need to see is the ones who can see it. Anyway.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of switches.
Yeah.
On that thing.
I want to thank Krenich in chat. If you're also first, thank you, Krenich, as always, for being here. We appreciate it. If you're lurking in chat, we thank you for your lurk. We appreciate everyone. That's it for this episode. We will see you next time.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Gee-wee, I'm drunk.
Pew, pew. Stick. Fast Miller Peter.
Somebody just shot old Krusty Pill.
Yeehaw.
Pill?
Krusty
Yep,
Pill.
Krusty Pill.
Krusty Pill.
That's our crossover. That's our medical drama episode crossed over with Wayward Vagabonds.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, this town has to have like a little medical office, surely.
Find out next week. Next
And there's a
episode.
full Grey's Anatomy happening there. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Find
maybe
out-
it's like MASH. Maybe the doctors are real
Ooh.
jokesters.
Maybe it's like
One
House.
way to find out.
Oh,
It's
just
probably
one really
House.
cranky doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tune in next time to find out. I'll probably forget. I will probably forget.
Eh.